From condemning unilateral sanctions on nations to slamming tariffs, condemning the use of starvation as a method of warfare, as well as calling the airstrikes on Iran as a violation of international law, the BRICS Leaders Statement, which India is a part of, has taken aim at a number of ongoing international challenges. The major outcome for India from the statement, agreed to by all the member states, including China, is condemnation in the strongest terms the terrorist attack in Jammu and Kashmir's Pahalgam that left 26 people dead on 22nd April. Indian military officials have indicated recently how China aided Pakistan during Operation Sindoor, India's retaliation to the Pahalgam attack. The BRICS grouping reaffirmed its commitment to combating all forms of terrorism, including cross-border attacks, a reference to India's stance that terrorist attacks in the country emanate from Pakistan. It also called on states to combat terrorism, including taking action to bring perpetrators of terrorist attacks to justice under relevant national and international laws. The condemnation of the Pahalgam terrorist attack is an important addition to the BRICS statement, which has seen New Delhi accede to a number of positions in the overall leader statement, which it has not previously elucidated in its own national statements. The BRICS statement comes just days after Defense Minister Rajnath Singh had refused to agree to the language of the joint statement at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization's defense ministers' meetings due to the language over terrorism. India also agreed to the language in the BRICS statement that included the condemnation of the airstrikes by the US and Israel on Iran last month. This stands in contrast with its position of distancing itself from a similar statement by the other grouping, the SCO, or the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. India, a member of the SCO, had put out a statement highlighting that its own national position had been elucidated in a separate statement. The SCO, which includes both China and Pakistan as members, had come out strongly against the airstrikes on Iran. The leaders' statement saw a swift rebuttal by US President Donald Trump, who promised an additional 10% of tariffs on any nations, aligning itself with anti-American policies of the BRICS. The 10-member group took aim at American tariffs, voicing serious concerns over the unilateral duties imposed by the US. Trump has taken aim at the group in the past. Apart from his latest threat of additional tariffs, the American president had threatened up to 100% of customs duties on BRICS member states if it attempted to move from the US dollar for the use of international trade. But that is not all. The BRICS leader statement condemned the use of sanctions, as both Russia and Iran, members of the group, are two of the most sanctioned countries in the world. The Western powers, particularly the US and the European Union, have imposed a number of sanctions on Moscow following Russia's full-scale war with Ukraine, launched by President Vladimir Putin in February 2022. While the West has focused on reducing its dependence on Russian energy, India has become one of the largest buyers of energy from Moscow in the last 3 years. Another area where the BRICS leader statement took strong exception to is the humanitarian situation in the Gaza Strip. The roughly 20-month war between Israel and Hamas has seen India defend Tel Aviv's right to self-defense while maintaining its support for a two-state solution. However, it has rarely commented on the humanitarian situation outside of sharing its deep concern. Prime Minister Narendra Modi highlighted the situation in Gaza during his address to the summit. Israel blocked humanitarian aid from entering Gaza for roughly 11 weeks earlier this year, before attempting to support a humanitarian assistance program through the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. The attempt to reroute aid through the GHF comes after Tel Aviv has asserted that the existing UN Relief and Works Agency, or UNRWA, was supporting Hamas, the group that carried out the 7th October 2023 attacks. The BRICS leaders have called for an unconditional ceasefire in Gaza, which is a change in India's position, as it has in the past voted against UN resolutions calling for a ceasefire for various reasons, including the lack of language for the release of hostages held by Hamas. That is all for me today. For more such news and analysis, subscribe below. Thank you.